Welcome to Mind and Movement, getting smart about how you move. I'm Hazel. Thanks so much for joining me for Coffee and Move 53. Cheers to you. In New Zealand, we've just gone to level 2. Hallelujah, we can really start to be in the world a little bit like we used to. So here's to celebrating that, and I feel a little bit weird about it. I feel a little bit weird about going back out there into the world. Very excited, but also like a little bit apprehensive. Have we got it under control? We're super stoked that we're in the position that we are and not like other countries around the world. Much love going out to all of the countries that are suffering hugely because of COVID-19. So I thought what I'd do today would be a few like kind of opening stretches to help me kind of feel more confident about going back out there into the world. So I'm going to start by just taking my arms out like this and externally rotating my humerus. Then I'm going to reach my palms away from me towards the walls on either side of the room here, making sure that I'm not lifting my shoulders up, really reaching out, thinking about if I had a can of beer in my hand, tipping it out behind me. From the side, really making sure that I'm not doing this, that I'm not arching or thrusting my rib cage, but that my rib cage and pelvis are nicely stacked. Reach out through there, and then what I'm going to do is drop my chin down, and then take one side of my head towards my shoulder, other side, and I feel way tighter on that side, so that way. Then I'm just going to do a bit of rotation, really reaching out. So thinking about reaching out through the elbows. If you reach out through the hands, you're going to do that, but you want to reach out through the elbow to really traction the GH joint, so to speak, the glenohumeral joint, the shoulder joint. Here, the next one we're going to do is we're going to push out, but this time I've got my palms towards the walls, and this is a really good neural stretch. So you might get a really kind of powerful stretch in through here and through your forearm. You're going to reach out towards those walls. Again, make sure you're not doing this. This will really take the stretch away. Drop your shoulders back down and then push out again, kind of through your hands, kind of through your shoulders. And if you want, you can kind of shift from one side to the other. I find that really helpful. And when you're shifting, make sure that you're shifting your rib cage from side to side, not laterally flexing. It's a shift. Your Han Solo in that garbage compressor thing. You're not a plane, right? You're Han Solo trying to push those walls out. In one of the original Star Wars movies. The next thing I'm going to do is a little back bend, but I'm really not going to rib thrust. I'm going to put my hands on my bum and just kind of think about taking my sternum up towards the ceiling, but not at all kind of like thrusting it forward. If I did this, watch this, I'm going to tip my pelvis forward, arch my rib cage back. Oh, look at this nice thoracic extension. There is no thoracic extension happening here. It's all lumbar extension. It's all down here. So I'm going to keep my ribs down. I'm going to keep my pelvis neutral on a vertical femur. And then I'm just going to think about lifting up a little bit so that there is no shear. So there's no forward shift of my vertebrae relative to each other. So that means that there's no forward shifting of my ribs. Like if I do that, that's shear. If I stay here but bend back, that might be a little bit of extension. So, and in saying that, what you want to do is I'm going to just really open my arms up. Actually, I'm going to come to the wall so that I can get my rib cage on the wall. So here my bum's on the wall, my feet are a couple of inches out of the wall so that they're kind of, making room for my bum. Then my bra strap is on the wall. Your bro strap, where there'd be a heart rate monitor, that must be on the wall. And for many of you, you'll find it hard then to get your head on the wall. If you find that getting the head on the wall really thrusts you forward, don't put the head on the wall, keep the rib cage on the wall. And then you're just going to reach your arms out and then up. make sure your rib cage is still on the wall. You should be able to feel your bra strap, your bro strap, your heart rate monitor on the wall. For most people, we have a big kyphosis, a big one of these going on, so actually getting the head on the wall is quite challenging for many people. It used to be very challenging for me, but I have done lots of windmills, lots of this stuff, lots of snow angels, floor angels, lots of getting my humerus into external rotation, and it actually doesn't take that long, so get into it and you'll really start to move differently through your thoracic spine, which is awesome. So just kind of opening up, playing around with the position of your hands. The other thing you can do is put your hands up on the wall and just kind of allow yourself to get a stretch in through the shoulders there. So basically I'm putting my hands up on the wall. I'm not rib thrusting again. I'm keeping my pelvis and my rib cage in a neutral position, but then I'm just allowing myself to kind of get my rib cage through my shoulder joint. And you can do that one for a long time, but I feel kind of rude with my back to you. So I'm going to stop doing that one and come back to this external rotation, reaching out and then really reaching up. So for me, when I reach up in this room, I touch the roof. So I'm going to reach up as high as I can, which means and I'm just going to monitor my rib cage. So when I'm reaching my arm directly overhead, does that mean that I end up tipping my rib cage back because I don't have enough movement through the shoulder joint? If that's the case for you, just bring the rib cage back into neutral and then bring that arm up to where you can get it up and truly kind of focus on that movement of the shoulder rather than movement of the lumbar spine, however you're getting into that rib thrust. Cool. So I hope you're feeling really great about getting out there into the world. I'm going to check the surf later and potentially go out for a surf, which I'm really excited about. I hope you're excited about what you're getting up to today. I hope getting back into work or whatever this means for you is exciting. And I'm really, really looking forward to seeing many of you in my clinic again soon, in my studio again soon. Right here, come and hang out with me. You know how to get in touch with me. You can see down the bottom in the description there. So I can't wait to see you soon.